We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is nice to come together for the purpose of co-creating, is it not? It is of value for each of you if you will stop for a moment and bring to your conscious mind that which you are wanting. You do not have to identify specific questions, although you can, but it is good for you to set forth your intent. How are you wanting to feel during this segment that we are sharing together? And what sort of experience are you wanting to have? And if there is some specific point of clarity, bring it forth to your conscious mind. For in this deliberate intending at the beginning of a segment, you become more deliberate in your creating, do you not? You are understanding that you are the creator of your experience. As you are understanding that, you are indeed unique within this physical realm, for very few really understand that. We believe that if they could understand it in the way we know it to be, that they would all want it. For you are all such freedom-seeking, growth-seeking beings. It is in fact the reason that you've emerged into these bodies, into this physical time and place. But as physical creatures, you have begun to act like physical creatures. You are physical, and that is a wonderful thing. It is indeed a delicious state of being, is it not? But we have observed that the majority of the physical beings go about their physical life in a very hard way, because they give so much credence or credibility or attention to what they call physical fact or evidence. And they base the majority of their value upon what they are able to accomplish. And they base what they are able to accomplish upon what they are able to do. And so you have evolved into such an action-oriented society that you believe that your action makes all of the difference. And so you're out acting here, acting there, acting here, reacting, acting. And as a result, through all of this scattered action that has not come from a central place of being or having, all of this scattered action has you pretty busy, does it not? And in many cases, it has you so busy that you are no longer joyful, or not most of the time. In fact, your joy is rare, while your trauma and turmoil and hard work is predominant. And then you wonder why things aren't going as well as you would like them. What we are wanting you to understand is something that you know from your broader perspective, and you knew at the time that you emerged into these bodies. You've just forgotten because most of those around you have forgotten. And that is that the way you feel is your indication of your point of attraction. Feeling is a very important part of your understanding of how you're doing in terms of what you're getting. Now, when we say to you, you are creator of your experience, the image that brings forth to most of you is, I will go out and get the things I want. I'll go get this relationship. I will go get this house. I will go get this money. I will go get. That is really what most think about creating. And what we are wanting you to clearly understand is that you don't have to go get anything. Just by being, it comes unto you, by virtue of the most powerful law in the universe, law of attraction. You cannot turn it off. You are always magnetically attracting unto you. And so your work is, true, to identify what you would like to come unto you. That is of significant importance. But as we are watching our physical friends, we would say the majority of you would be very good if you would spend your energy, your effort, give your deliberate attention to making sure you're in the place of positive attraction, which means make sure you're in the place that you feel good, which in many cases means stop doing a bunch of that stuff that you're doing and focus upon the things that make you feel good. And so that will be the essence of what we are talking about here today. Literally every question that you could ask will be answered in the framework of that which we've just offered to you. Sometimes it seems that what we offer is very simplistic, And we say, indeed it is, for the laws are very simple. The complexity comes as you try to evaluate so many different subjects or circumstances. But when you understand the very simple law, and when you are in tune with your own guidance system, which is telling you in every moment of every day exactly where you stand in relationship to your attraction, then you're in a very good place. Would you agree? What are you wanting to talk about? Let us hear from you.
Question.
We will come there next.
Two of them. One of them, what do you do to stay in the position of feeling good?
We will be very direct in our answer of your question, but first we are wanting to throw it back to you a little bit. First we will say that it is not possible to feel other than good when you are focused upon the positive aspects of what you are living. Negative emotion only comes forth when you are looking at lack. And so the way we always maintain our position of feeling good, the reason that we exist always in a place of positive emotion, is because we are very disciplined in the way we offer our thought. We do not allow ourselves to give thought to lack. Now you might say, how can you talk with another about their problem without giving some attention to lack? And we say, it is only a glance, for then we are very swiftly off looking for solution. And solution is focusing upon what you're wanting. Therefore, every issue has what is wanted and what is not wanted. It has the solution or the problem. It has the having it or the lack of having it. And so we are just very good at making sure which side of the equation we are on. How do you do it?
Well, I'm not like you. Everything is so good to begin with. It's easy to look at what's good because everything's good. There's very little that isn't. But it'd be a lot tougher for a person that most everything is bad, or they feel it is, to focus on what's good.
We agree with you. It is more difficult to find your positive balance from a negative place than maintain it from a positive place. Certainly, that is easy to understand. But all of you know the difference between feeling bad and feeling good. And as you hear discussions such as the one that is unfolding here today, you will even be more pointedly aware. As you received a telephone call a few days ago, you recall, and it was a friend, a longtime friend of 20 years and business associate, calling in a very depressed, negative state, having been focused upon lack for days prior to her telephone call. And as she spoke to you, and as Esther heard the opening of the conversation, Esther went scampering as far away from ear sound as she could, for she did not want to be part of the negative discussion. 1 hour later, this one came into the room where Esther was. And Esther said, I know what it was about, for I heard the beginning. What did you say to her? For Esther had a very large knot in her stomach. Even though she had gotten out of earshot, having heard it, she carried the knot with her and sat there with the knot for the hour as the telephone call was unfolding. And so Jerry came, and Esther said, what did you say to her? And as Jerry began expressing what he had said, for he had been focusing upon the positive aspects of her situation, Esther said, I have never before realized how much I want to feel good, as in this very extreme example of having the bad feeling evaporate and be replaced by a good feeling. She said it is like walking 100 miles in high-heeled shoes on hot pavement and then taking my shoes off and putting them in cool water. The difference in the refreshment that came over her was that graphic. And so we say to you, all of you, even when you are having the majority of your experience negatively, you still know that relief, because you cannot, none of you are focused enough to stay doggedly focused upon your problem enough to only feel the pain. Now, we're not saying that some of you don't feel more pain than pleasure, or more negative emotion than positive emotion, but we will not agree that you do not know the difference. And we will not agree that you do not like feeling good more than you like feeling bad. Your guidance system is very powerfully working within each of you, you see. What you need in order to be willing to seek the good feelings more than the bad feelings, you need a little boost You need recognition that it is all right to be selfish enough to seek that which makes you feel good. That is really our role more than anything else, to help you recognize that it is all right to feel good.
Well, there's not a day goes by that I don't 2 or 3 times a day rave to myself. I don't tell anybody else how wonderful I feel and how thrilled I am about what a wonderful body I have. And I say it to myself, and I say it to Esther about a wonderful person she is to be with, and how much fun she is, and how brilliant she is, and what a doer she is, and how thoughtful and considerate she is, and how perfect she is for the kind of life that I want. And I say many times a day what a thrill it is to be doing the kind of work that I'm doing what I really, really feel I want to do with my life, and really feel like I'm making a difference. I'm constantly thrilled by the dollars that continually flow to me. Anything I need is always on the way to me. And the wonderful relationships and the friends and the contacts, and it just goes on and on. I mean, I'm all day long talking about how great my life is to me, not out loud, but I'm focused on that.
Now,
go ahead.
Make your point, and then we will make another.
The only thing that I ever find myself considering, I backpedal on a little. I think, well, I'd like to be able to reach more people faster with what you're teaching. But then I hear from you, it doesn't make any difference whether I ever reach anybody. Just as long as I'm having a good time, everybody else, I'm doing more good for anybody than if I, sold a jillion books.
We are not saying to you that it doesn't make any difference if you never reach anyone. What we are saying to you is that as you give your attention to that which brings forth that sort of feeling that you have just described verbally to us, then you are at the point of attraction where you are drawing unto you those who are seeking that which you have to offer. And from that place of feeling good, you are emanating outward unto all of the universe. You see, there you are acting like a physical being again. You are evaluating your value as a physical being based upon the numbers that gather in any one place, where you are forgetting that the heavens are filled with those who benefit from observing that which you are living. Do you think for a moment that those that benefit from you must only be those in physical bodies? Do you understand that every physical friend that you have has a non-physical counterpart who is benefiting from your state of being? You see, as you feel, now, the point that we were wanting to make, and then we'll come back to this issue, is that as you were describing verbally, you were articulating very well the way you feel. In other words, a very large block of thought within you that you are describing in words. And we know, and you know, that those scanty words that you just offered are but the tip of the iceberg of the block of thought that is within you. In other words, there is much more than you could speak in 10 days. But as you are speaking, and the way you feel as you are speaking is positive emotion, then as you speak, or as you be, you ooze. It literally emanates out of you. And it affects those, of course, that are near you. But it affects literally all that is, because by law of attraction, all of those throughout all of the universe that seek feeling good benefit by the good